This right here is the exact system that I used to ace my A-level math, chemistry, physics, biology, and it's the system that I still use today in medical school. If you're new to this channel, my name is Hassan and I'm a medical student, and I want to help you get better grades. So let's get into it. So why did you click on this video? You want better grades, right? So you have to ask yourself, why do we even want better grades? Is it to get into your dream college? Is it to make yourself proud? Is it to make your parents proud? You have to understand your why, because once you understand your motivation to get good grades, it's way easier to follow this routine. So let's get into it. Part 1. I've written here morning routine. And I'm not talking about you jumping in the cold plunge or going out to run 40 kilometers right away. I'm talking about what you do in the mornings and how you do it. I used to study pretty early on in the mornings. And the reason for that is I feel in the mornings I have the most mental clarity. I can focus pretty good in the mornings. So I would wake up around 6:30, maybe 7 a.m. I would revise flashcards on things that I've already had about. So that way it's not that difficult, but it's still challenging enough for me to focus and try to make my brain engage with the information. So after I study for a couple of hours, I'm ready to leave to go to school. And this leads us to the second part, part 2. And this is actually a very, very important part because what you do in school matters. So at school, I used to do my homework, obviously, because you want to do great in the exam, and homework a lot of time resembles the actual exams. So it's important to do your homework. But I would do my homework and I would write down all the questions that I had for the teacher. So once I got to school, I could actually ask my teacher all the questions that I didn't understand. And you can do that in private, like before the lesson begins or after this lesson ends, or you can do that in class with your other friends. Now obviously try to answer the questions before asking your teachers. And ask your teacher once you don't understand it. But it's very, very important for you to ask your teachers the questions that you don't understand, because if you don't understand the first time and second time and third time, it's probably a good idea to check that box off so you don't get surprised when you have the exam. And the second part, try to think about the exam in school. Like when you have math, for example, and you have about a certain subject, ask the teacher, is this relevant to the exam? If there's past exam papers out there, try to look at them like in advance before your actual exam. So you have an understanding of how the exam format is, what type of questions do they often try to include, and so you get an overall idea of how the exam is like. So part 3, what to do after school. Now at this point, you have done your morning routine, you have revised some flashcards, you have been productive so far. You went to school, you were focused, you asked your teachers all the questions that you didn't understand, and you had exam papers in mind. Now we get to the final part. You get home from school and you're probably tired. And what I used to do actually, when I get home from school, no matter what, I try to not look at my homework. And it sounds crazy, but I would be so tired that even if I sat down to study, I wouldn't be able to focus that much. And I'm not interested in, being that type of students who study 12 hours, 14 hours a day, but actually maybe do 1 hour of focused work. So what I advise you to do is once you get home from school, do something fun. Go out for a run, go out and play football with your friends, like do something fun for at least a couple of hours before you go to bed. And once you do that, maybe like put in an hour or 2 before you go to bed to look at your homework, and obviously do them before the next day. But it's very important that if you feel tired, don't jump into doing things right away because you probably can't focus anyway. So if you feel tired after a long day of school, go out there and try to exercise, and then after you've done that and you feel more energized, get back to your homework and study using active recall. So this is actually the routine that I used to ace my exams. I hope this video was helpful. If you like this video, give it a like and share it with your friends. See you next time.